think that Diablo 4 is massively successful, and I've actually heard from people internally, I can't really share a lot of this because it was told to me in confidence, that Diablo 4 is actually quite popular on a number of websites. A lot of people really like Diablo 4, and I think it does a great job as being an entry into the ARPG genre. It does. No, I'm being serious. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that, like, it can't be better. I wish it had a complicated system like PoE as like a Souls-like game. It certainly wasn't a flop. Yeah, I think they've made Diablo a lot better. I also have to say, like, you know, I was thinking about this, like, watching the gameplay for PoE 2. And you know what it really reminded me a lot of? Is that it reminded me of, like, PoE 1 in, like, 2013. Where, like, everything was a lot slower before you had, like, a lot of the power creep. Like this. Like, yeah, like, this is, like, doing, like, level 65 map or something like that back in the day.
Petition showcases something incredible. Concepts made reality that WoW haters, lovers, and people not even interested in Path of Exile 2, that you take a step back and say, huh, I bet we could learn from that.
Yeah, and I bet, here's really the truth. I bet internally, a lot of the guys that are working on Diablo 4 are like, oh, fuck, we need to do this in our... See, I told you they'd like it. Look at the chat. See, this is my idea. I said this would be good. Why didn't we do this? We could have done this at the at launch. Yeah, they're probably mad. It's the same thing as Power World with Nintendo. Nintendo's mad about this? Yeah, of course they're mad. But I guarantee you, the guys that are working at Nintendo were probably playing Power World. Bro, I told you we should have had this. Why didn't you? Why can't we get the money to do this? Yeah, 7 levels of bureaucracy. I bet so. Yeah, because a lot of these guys, I bet they're PoE players. I bet they love PoE. They're probably going to play the PoE 2, the beta, when it comes out. I think that Blizzard is, if anything, I think it's just in a chokehold of bureaucracy. And I feel like so many companies are like that now.
Instead, Rod decided to retreat into this tweet.
Oh.
He stuck his head in the sand like an ostrich and started to scream. Let me just read it one more time. Feels like the genre of ARPG is starting to mean a lot of different things. Much like Souls-like and roguelike, I wonder if we could normalize Diablo-like for ARPGs that follow the Diablo formula. The crazy thing is, the dude is right. The genre does mean many different things, and Diablo's biggest competitors are doing something incredible and bold. Yeah. But instead of giving them a kind bow or not saying anything, Rod went out and seriously pitched other games be implicitly named after the series he created overseas, and if they stray too far, then they cannot be compared to his precious Diablo. This is hilarious, and what so many people have said for years in a way about Diablo 4.
I feel like people look at what is an ARPG? Isometric game where you loot items and you can kill things. There it is. That, like, if you want to, like, what do people think, like, ARPGs are? That's basically what it is. It's a quick game, yeah.
Exile. But now the dude in charge is saying it too in a thinly veiled manner, and it's the only thing he'll ever say about Path of Exile and grinding gear games. Essentially, he's trying to say Path of Exile 2 isn't a Diablo-like anymore, so it cannot be compared to Diablo 4.
Wow, that's a pretty good advertisement. I think I might play it more than... like, oh, it's not like Diablo 4? Oh, wow. Say no more.
People should stop trying to match up the two, which is just absolutely massive cope. What's even crazier is the term Diablo-like has been around forever, since the days of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. And it's how grinding your game described their own game. They said it was a spiritual successor to Diablo 2, way back in 2010 and onward. They recognized the genius there. They captured it.
It's very obvious that PoE, especially PoE 1, early PoE 1, was, a lot of it was like copy pasted from Diablo. We all know this. But the game is good. If they have an intellectual property dispute, that's their problem. I don't care.
You did that shit on purpose, didn't you, Kat? No, you did.
Yeah, I pointed at the mob. I thought that it was
Hey, bro.